Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is the start of another week and we are working hard to get ready for it. One of the things I'm doing here is I'm actually making egg cups for my husband and I. So if you've watched any of my other videos on my channel, you know that making egg cups is kind of my thing in mason jars because it just makes everything so much easier throughout the week to have these prepared in things that can go in the microwave, that are reusable, and that keep the portions under control. I had gastric sleeve surgery a little over 6 months ago, and so I can eat about 8 ounces of food. So what's prepped for me is going to be in wide mouth 8-ounce mason jars. And so I start here by cracking 2 eggs in each of the cups, including the 4 16-ounce containers for my husband. And I didn't realize that the start of my mason jars were out of frame at this, so I apologize for that. But as you can see, I just cracked 2 eggs in each one of these, and it makes it really easy for cooking and also cleanup because you're not getting a whole lot of dishes dirty in this process. I make plenty of mess as I'm meal prepping for the week as it is, so if I can avoid any additional uh, dishes that'll need to be done, that would be great. Once I get all of the eggs into these cups and put away my eggs. How cool is this egg container, by the way? I found this on Amazon, and I'll put a link to it in my description box, but how cool is that? It holds 36 eggs, so it's perfect for if you use a lot of eggs and you keep it around for your family. It's just perfect, and it's kind of slanted, so like the eggs will roll as you take them out. It's just great. I love it so much. But once I get all the eggs cracked in here, then I start with the seasonings, and I use, you'll see here in just a second, I actually use Kinder seasoning. It's one of my favorites, actually. And I use the Buttery Steakhouse seasoning on these eggs first, and then just put salt and pepper on them as well. I try not to do a whole lot of salt because the Kinder's seasoning does have some salt in there, and so I don't want them over salted. So I got this Kinder's in, and then I get my salt and pepper shakers and just do a little sprinkle over each one. After that, I start with the ingredients. So these ingredients were actually left over from what I made as our lunch for this week, which is like a Southwestern Chorizo mason jar salad. And I have another video that I have to edit and upload for that one. And but I had all these ingredients left over: the black beans, the tomatoes, the corn, the onions, and a little bit of chorizo. And I did not want them to go to waste, and so I was like, well, we're gonna have Southwestern egg cups for this week. So keep that in mind when you're on a budget and you're trying to meal prep. You might have to reuse ingredients if you have any left over, which is okay. I mean, I changed the flavor palette of this one. I added different seasoning than what is in for our lunch, and so it's fine. So I'm doing a tablespoon of onions in each one of these. Even I like a lot of onion. Brian, my husband, is not as big of a fan of onion as I am, so a tablespoon of my 8 ounces is great. A tablespoon of his 16 ounces is great. Then I do a tablespoon of chorizo in each of the cups, and that finishes off the chorizo. So I didn't have any leftovers of that. It all got used, and we'll eat it all this week. Next, I do a tablespoon of black beans in my 8-ounce jars, and then a tablespoon of corn, and then I had halved these cherry tomatoes, and so I just put 4 halves, so 2 cherry tomatoes basically, in each of my 8-ounce cups. And then in Brian's, I actually doubled that, so I put 8 in each of his, since he's going to have 16 ounces worth of ingredients. It'll balance really well. Then I realized that I still had some cherry tomatoes left over and I did not want them to go to waste. So then I just kind of went round robin and put one in every cup until I ran out of them. So a few cups got extra cherry tomatoes. So that's fine. It's just extra nutrients. Then in his cups, since they're 16-ounce jars, I did a fourth of a cup of black beans and one in each container. Then I realized I still had ingredients left, so he actually got half a cup of black beans in each one of his cups. So this is going to be really filling for him. The corn, it worked out to where each container got a fourth of a cup. There might have been a tiny bit left over, so but roughly a fourth of a cup in each of those. And then lastly, I topped it with cheese. And I literally pulled all of the bags of cheese out of the refrigerator that I had and so that we could use them all up. So this is like Mexican style cheese. This is sharp cheddar cheese. And then I also have some mozzarella. So it's a cheese smorgasbord, different flavors. And then after I put the cheese on it, then I go ahead and sprinkle it again lightly with that Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse seasoning just to finish it off. And that's it. I mean, this video was originally 13 minutes long, so to prep lunches for both my husband and I took about 13 minutes. Look how cute that is. Shake it up, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, stir it, and you have the perfect breakfast.